line. Check the radio, pit crew is far from slow. The lights no longer yellow. Ready, steady, go. Crank it up. Oh, it's racing. 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 In love with the ride. Burning rubber smells real nice. Fuel it up once or twice. Come on, fast is the way to drive. Crowds all on their feet, not one bothered by the heat. Imagine them in the driver's seat. Checkered flag would be sweet. Crank it up. Oh, it's racing. 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 Everybody get ready. On your feet. Here we go. 3, 2, 1. Crank it up. Crank it up. Oh, it's racing. 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 Crank it up. Finger to the sky and a green light shining bright. The only thing I have in mind is the finish line. Check the radio, pit crew is far from slow. The lights no longer yellow. Ready, steady.
And welcome back, race fans, here in Talladega County, here in Talladega, Alabama. We're ready to get to Talladega Superspeedway, and for the race in action of the Pushing Limits Racing League, the Xfinity Series is now set to go, presented in part by our friends at Premier Racing Setups, Accessible Sim Racing, Six Sigma Sim Racing, the Racing Grove, and Lightning Wrapz. It is time to set it on down and set the course. Our drivers are ready to go, and they are set for the action here today. Hi everyone, I'm Sir Chris Schreiber, joining you guys here today as we present to you the Six Sigma Sim Racing grading lineup today. This is how we get on the pole. We'll start them up with Brian Colton in the number 13s outside. Chad Bass will be in the number 1. Run number 2 is Tyler Org in the 8s outside. Robert Kahn, 21. Run number 3 sees William Perhamus in the number 51s outside. Dustin Sornaker in the 50. Run number 4, that's Garrett C. Crawford in the 69s outside. Kevin Metapace in the 42. Run number 5, Julian Conde in the 18s outside. That'll be Daniel Moynihan in the 77. Run number 6 is Mike Rideout in the 76s outside. Is Kevin Baker in the number 87. At row number 7, we will then see it being Matthew Hart for the 84 with Warren Young in the number 9. And then row 8, it is Chantel Pottle in the 5 with Stanley Pottle in the 48. Cody McRae, final starter in the row 9, number 28. And race fans, time's come, time is elapsed. It's ready to go racing action here as we are set to go for today's race and contest. Time to see how our drivers will hold up and how they feel about this one as we get ready to field them on down here now onto the start. Time to listen in with some of our drivers here and listen in real quick here. We'll listen in right now with Chantel, the throttle paddle here in that number 5. And Chantel, as you get ready for the action here, I gotta believe staying in the back is gonna kind of give you a bit of an edge when the madness starts up front, isn't it? Hold on, folks. I got a copy down there. No copy, so we'll just go ahead and we'll put it back in there and leave that one be. Bring him on around town here. Get the drivers all set to go here for the action. Looks like we'll have one driver talking with us here. Matthew Hofford now joined us in here. Hofford, you got a copy?
Yeah, I got a copy.
Okay, we got you there. So right now, as you get set to go for our action and for our race here today, how is the car holding up and feeling so far for you?
Well, the car feels good. We're just gonna try to watch for wrecks and watch the drafting and bum drafting, and just try to keep our eyes peeled, and keep our nose to the front, and see if we can go 2 in a row.
2 in a row, definitely going to be a lot of work here from the Irish Super Speedway compared to the Talladega Super Speedway, but we'll give you the benefit of the doubt. Best of luck down there.
Thank you.
Matthew Hopper, ladies and gentlemen, the 84 now set to go for the action. Our field set in motion and ready to race. They'll bring him around town out of this 2.6 mile long track. 2.65, 2.66 miles in length. You fans already tuned in, rooting on your boys. Kevin Menapace saying, let's go number 42. Tyler Scott Fitzgerald saying 42. The Menapace boys got some love. They got some field in this one today. But yeah, of course, is the number 13 Air Force Afterburner Chevrolet Camaro. That is Brian Colton, your number 1 seed, qualified on the top row. Chad Bass in the 1, though. And that Apple Auto Parts Camaro also looking to be a heavy contender and a heavy favorite here as our drivers now settle them up and get ready to push these things to their limits. Getting them a little bit further into speeds and getting them more into the run here. Everybody packing them up, stacked onto the front stretch. At a consistent pace, ready to go back on fourth. Green flag in the air, waiting for it to wave. Send it your way, my friends. Let's get it down. Go to the green. Here we go. .45 laps to the distance here. This will make things very interesting for the long haul and that long run as drivers will have to try to find some tails, find some openings when they can, hopefully try to keep themselves out of the troublesome spots and troublesome areas throughout this race and throughout this run. But it's going to be a very tall order again for many drivers that are not used still to these kind of plate tracks and these kind of racing styles as they've been used to more of the traditional mile and a half and all them. We saw last night, of course, at Atlanta Motor Speedway, the Truck Series put on quite a show, put on a bit of a battle there, but unfortunately the starts really were kind of what, in my opinion, dragged down the race in a few ways and a few times. But today, anyway, I had a feeling going in we were going to see a lot more heavy battling and a lot more heavy action between the drivers as they were obviously going to have more time to settle in and settle up. So far, that is the case here as we've gone right through the field and down to the marching of the tracks. Still side-by-side battle going on down the back straightaway here. Dustin Sonaker up top side. Colton on the bottom lane. Sonaker has a thing or two about running these play tracks. He knows how to play it with these boys. He knows how to hang on with them. He's going to try to do as much as he can here as he continues to dive the pace in and dive the track around. Kevin Baker last night, though, in the 87, pulling up a miraculous top 3 finish, the first time in a long time. We've seen him actually put a podium position in, and honestly, with not being a plate track, definitely shows that he can get some talent under the hood. He can get some speed under that track side here. We'll see if he can continue going with it today as our field works our way on around. Tyler Orrig, the lone Canadian out of the bunch here in the top 5, trying to hang on there with the crew and make even a good push there on that 13 of Colton. Drivers timing and hitting their marks, using their shots when they can, looking for openings where they can get to it. Again, with how difficult though it is to avoid going into that 3 wide salute here, it makes you wonder in due time how long before they go into full chaos mode, where they just decide, hey, you know what, we're tired of waiting this double file in, let's just hit it, let's just go for broke. High above this long straight track here, of course, designed and structured over the plains of an old Air Force base, as you've seen maybe before, that airstrip down there in the middle of the track. Still pretty much the old land, the old circus itself. It is impressive to me just how far we've gone from those days of watching the 2.5 miles, the mile longs, to then the 1.5 miles, to those 2 miles, to then this incredible staged event of the 2.5 plus mile long tracks. It's been a complete transformation in a department of speed, continuity, and workarounds. And only the fastest and the best drivers can make it work here. You can see a lot of guys right now, and gals even too, they're getting kind of packed up a bit. They're just kind of trying to find times to really move up and move in with. They're not going too crazy yet because they can't really afford it. They have to be a little bit under the wrap and under the edge here. They need to make sure they keep away from doing anything too crazy, as Garrett C. Crawford there in that 6.9 Budweiser machine keeps a close eye on all of it too. But the pace right now, to me, it seems like it's dictating more towards what I would think what the guys like Baker, McGray, Perhamas, Colton, Menapace, and Moynihan really like, which is they like to be a little bit more closer together. They like to be more stable and just kind of wait it out and use their fuel run and their strategies there. That's why I see a lot of them not going too aggressive yet. Man, they're just trying to save fuel and they're just trying to save themselves from some headaches here. But eventually, as we've known before, all good things must come to an end sometime or another. Guys in the back trying to move their way up to the front here as the rest of the field moves their in the midfield, into the mid zone. Everyone else looking for openings when they can. Onboard camera here with the number 76, Mike Rideout right now. Currently as Rideout in a hot pursuit ahead of that 69 of Garrett C. Crawford in the Crawford Racing Chevrolet Camaro, with the 84 Matthew Crawford, the reigning winner from last week, looking to try and repeat, as you saw Nicholas Tong do last night here on PTM Racing TV from the Pedal to the Metal Racing League side. All that coverage, as well as even our Moonshiners Rallycross coverage, is on our YouTube end right now, ladies and gentlemen. So if you want, you can see the thumbnails and all that down in the YouTube descriptions. Once you just type in our name, PTM Racing TV, you will find all the races you wish and pretty much all our coverage we've covered here on the show. And while you're at it, feel free to give us a like and a subscribe there if you don't mind. Like and follow here on Facebook would certainly help too. Anything from you guys helps us support the channel, support the shows, to keep getting more and more content out on the track, and to even do a few crazy things like invent some new camera angles and show you guys some new stuff we got working on. See that head movement there, that heel tilt front there from McGray, but you can see his arms kind of flailing around in there, using the pedals, using his footwork, and using every inch of that car, trying to get this thing to be on the nose, on the verge. 51, William Perhamas right now here. I talked about him earlier on, the Exxon number 51, currently a bit more relaxed, a little bit more stable than I think I'm used to seeing him. He's always been kind of that go-getter, kind of rough and tough it up nature of his racing, but today seems like he's being a little bit more conservative, a little bit more hands-on, a little bit more relaxed. But how long is that going to go for, and will it be able to actually withstand the pressure and the test of time? Yeah, hard to say, but like I said, man, these guys, they're itching and they're pulling forward to go 3 wide. Oh, as I say that, might have to go a little 3 wide because they're going to have some troubles. They're going to have a lot of troubles. Can they restructure? Can they settle it back down? They can. Wow, huge hit though for William Perhamus there. I don't know if he got clipped by the A7 of Baker by an accidental shot there or what happened exactly, but he definitely went up and came down. Presented by Accessible Sim Racing. Here is your PTM Instant Replay. Well, Perhamus, I'm really not sure what happened there to him. He just got kind of loose there. Got clipped in with Baker. Good driving, though, by everybody else. Talk about it being situational awareness and avoiding trouble. Impressive stuff there. We'll take one more look at it. Watch the apron. And honestly, to me, it looked like Perhamus actually just lost steering for a second. I think he just lost focus on what he was doing. Baker really had nowhere he could go, but again, impressive driving by the drivers to actually avoid the wreck. For Perhamus, I'm not really sure what transpired there that cost him that time, that cost him that control. It's a bit of a weird spot to be put into, if you ask me. Well, Chantel Paul, Robert Kahn, them, all of them had to got pushed back a little bit, laid back a little ways or two here. That was definitely going to slow them down a little bit. Field now that was in the big pack are starting to move up ahead of the screen, up ahead of the seams. Looking to maybe make their mark and maybe make their way on around. You know, we always talked about here on PTM Racing TV and just kind of the lackadaisical areas that plate tracks can bring to the table sometimes. We've always talked about how difficult it is to pass when you got guys and gals that are trying to really take the pack racing and push themselves up forward. It becomes more of a who can just hang on to their line and who can stay out of trouble before it's a little too late kind of moments. But I think, and I think really this one kind of highly is those that have been known to strengthen and satisfy here. I think honestly that is where the most impressive performances come from, and that's where the most intriguing races get to. Lined up on the Emmett Gray, avoiding the contact there. Does have a slight bit of damage though on the right front and the right rear corner panels of that number 28 Havoline machine here. Many drivers paying tribute and Darlington Speedway, at Darlington Raceway, not too long ago here. Showing a little bit of love as well with that unique style schemes that were once new are now old. And they threw it back a little bit with a little throwback style. Well, we're seeing a little bit of those throwback styles still being presented here in normal racing here on PTM TV. The Havoline car always represented by many drivers out there from the good old days to the good old boys and all that. It's impressive just to see how far we've come from that sport and we've come from that level and where we all has come from it. Speaking of coming from it and coming from the back, how about this? Dustin Sonaker has not left the top half the entire race here so far. He's actually been in the race lead for about 2 or 3 laps more than the number 13 of Brian Colton for a time. And actually, he's going to do it again here as it comes right on the top side. He's getting some serious speed, some serious ground up there and hasn't really given out anything yet. So, I don't know. Maybe Sonaker is seeing maybe it's time to start making some changes, make some runs out of it. He hasn't been to victory lane in quite some time, so it's gonna be interesting to me if he can actually perform in and do the task today. He's gonna stay on that top side though and stay up there with the drivers. Stanley Powell, Julian Conde right now in the 18, the 48 of Powell right now trying to get back up into that mix here, trying to get back up into that fight here as he works his magic around with the Dell Performance number 48 Ford Mustang of Stanley Powell. Again, those two, as well as the two right on your screen right now, Chantel Pottle and the Robert Kahn, the rattlesnake here, both drivers ended up in the back a little bit late because of the fact that they were trying to avoid the troubles with Perhamus there, as well as Kevin Baker when they got into it, unfortunately. Still no word exactly on what happened there, what went wrong, but I can tell you what's going on up front. 3 wide slidden here, battle up to the lead. And Sloanaker taken for a little bit of a runoff from Daniel Moynihan. Moynihan, great pass on the inside, takes it away from Sloanaker. But there is not enough time to take it away here from that 13. The one of Chad Bass nearly flipped in as they entered into that turn 3 section. The sector there going to definitely give them a bit of a warm-up call, a little bit of a wake-up round there, if you will. Tyler Scott Fitzgerald saying 42 looks fast tonight. Let's go. Well, Metapace has been fast before, and he may be fast again. Remember, he did win at Pedal. He did win the first race here on Pushing Limits Racing League side of things, managing to pull off an extremely big victory in the trucks race down in Daytona. He told me earlier today that that was one of the best wins he could ask for. That was one of the best wins he could have gotten. Says he was looking for another one like it. Coming down on the back straightaway here. Tyler O'Rourke now moving through the chain. He forces the 13 on below the yellow line. Chad Bass lets him back in. No pass there. Trouble though for Tyler O'Rourke as he continues to try to get up there into it. Moynihan, nice corner off there in the Cinnamon Toast Crunch 77 Ford Mustang. He takes full aim and advantage. The rest of the field trying to catch up as the Subarus are now in this minute pace, looking to get some speed going and get some run charged up ahead here. He is in a mix of a dogfight though, to say the least. Nowhere to go, nowhere to hide, nowhere to run, to say the least. Minute pace knows that. He's trying to get right up there with his crew. Yellow flag out. Looks like we're going to a stage break here. I'm not seeing any drivers in wreck territory or in the troublesome nuisance spots, so it looks like it was a caution flag out for the stage break, I will say. So that will give everyone a chance to kind of restructure, replan, and rethink this one up ahead. Interesting start, to say the least, here on PTM Racing TV. But how long will that last for, and how long will that go for around this track? Well, only one way to find out. Stay tuned with us here on PTM Racing TV. We just got started and we're having fun down in Talladega. Today's race, ladies and gentlemen, presented in part by our friends over at PremierRacingSetups.com. The only setup shop you need in your day-to-day life. Tune in with them and get some one-on-one coaching as well as the best setups around. Premier Racing Setups is the place to be. By Accessible Racing. See, believe, and achieve. That's what we're out for. By Six Sigma Sim Racing. High quality manufacturing and high quality rigs made your way. Be sure to check them out. By the Racing Group, for all your North American podcasts, racing news, and sim racing talks, the Racing Group has always got you covered. And by Lightning Wrapz, the most affordable designs made at your leisure. Lightning Wrapz looks to bring out the best designs in your library.
When you need the best designs in your fleet of vehicles, there's only one brand name that many trust in. One that makes every car pop out from the rest of the field, and that is Lightning Wrapz. Be sure to check us out on Facebook at Lightning Wrapz. Get yourself a vehicle unlike the rest. Lightning Wrapz, the most affordable designs made at your leisure.
Welcome back here on PTM Racing TV right now, and a little controversy down here on pit road. Chad Bass and the one tangling up there with Dustin Sloanaker in the 50 as they were coming into their pit stalls. Chad Bass and Sloanaker not realizing where they were at or where they were in position. It looks like the only thing that Bass will lose is positions here, thanks to unfortunately the little tap there with Sloanaker. But nevertheless, drivers now squared back up and getting ready to reel them back onto the track here. Only our first caution of the day. Surprising considering, again, the huge hit that William Perhamus and Kevin Baker both suffered there into that run and into that spot. Both guys taking a huge hit and a huge knockoff on the track there. And Baker looks to get his lap back by simply just coming back up through the field. Will get his opportunity. If the pace car will say anything about it, though, I don't know if that will be the case anymore. One thing I always said here on PTM Racing TV is we always look for the brightest, the toughest, and the craziest of races here and stuff that always brings to the show and brings to the showcase here, and that's been what we're always after here. So, field now double file back up. We'll have about 25 laps remaining on the start. A whole laundry list of heavy action, heavy artillery now ready to bring up into position and into this charge here. Drivers looking, hopefully, find the right leg, find the right time, and maybe get something more out of it. Field set, ready, back into position. And again, drivers getting back on pace, back on control. The only one that's not on the lead lap here is Kevin Baker in the A7, so that could be a factor in this race. Baker right now knows if he does not figure something out sooner rather than later, this one's over with. And we know Baker all too well. He does not like that comment. He does not want that to happen around here. That much is for certain. Here we go now, across the stripes, across the line. This is Talladega. This is your race, race fans. Back to the action. It's time to go racing here with the Xfinity Series. Ooh, bit of a bad start there out of the gate. Cody McRae not getting off the line here. 28, laying back way low, if not already making drivers gonna go force back into the run here. Can't get too far back with these Xfinity cars. You got to be careful about that. Like, of course, we know these slingshots are very common and they can be very useful here, but that's not to say that later on that doesn't become a little bit more tricky by the moment to make it work. Those that pace and strategize above all else, in my opinion, will walk away with the win here. Minute Pace is already in the perfect line, in my opinion. Moynihan finds himself in a very innocuous position. This is a very tough little position to be put into, if you ask me.
And as always, I mentioned here on iRacing, which I absolutely love, is just seeing how the weather transformations and everything comes around on this track and comes around on the field. The weather, time zone, and everything changes up so much. And honestly, if I wasn't to be honest with you guys, I'm still kind of waiting when the day comes we're going to have rain pop up in our show. I am a little bit nervous, I'm not going to lie, but when it happens, I'll be ready. Coming down around the runs here, look at Julian Conde here, the 18. You saw him earlier on, the U.S. Army way back in the pack, way back in the field. Well, this is a whole different ball game now. Ooh, you gotta be careful though. You can't get too loose with these things. You still gotta hold them on line. Got pretty close, got pretty loose there. Again, you got to remember these guys may be running a 550 horsepower package, but these things drive like a next-gen cup car when it comes to trying to hold them stable. They aren't necessarily that snap lock steering that I absolutely despise, but you have to be very, very smooth, very rhythmic. And Sonaker just completely all over the place here. That's definitely not that's definitely not making me feel any better. Chantel Bottle trying to do what she did last night at Pedal Metal Racing League in the Truck Series at Atlanta, trying to go to the outside and literally steal this one away. She was so close to doing it, but unfortunately got put into a bad spot. Well, it looks like it's part two for her, and into another bad spot. Tight run down on the edges here. They are side by side, but nearly clipped into the race wall protection. These guys really do not like being passed up too much, and I guess really they don't want to be taken advantage of here as we're coming up with 21 laps to go. Up on the outside, Bottle trying to get them to work with her. Con trying to help out a little bit, McRae right behind. Little bump, little tag, maybe enough to get them going. You don't want to do too much of it in the turns though, gotta get it straightened. And the power and the push going away. You can see the plate tracks effect of the packed racing starting to be the absolute benefactor. The pack's starting to form back off. And now it's becoming even more difficult to make anything work up there. There is some nudging and bumping from the 88 and the 5. You can see that rear end corner panel and the front fender of the 88 bashed in a little bit. Everyone was going for a run. They were going for it quickly. They're still 3 wide up top side. It's easy to go 3 wide, it's easy to go 4 wide here, but other than that, I wouldn't even dare test anything past 3 wide. Even then, I still don't like going 3 wide on this track. Metapace on the bottom, if you ask me, pretty much the guy that is suckered into everything. He is literally in the worst possible place, the worst possible predicament, to say the least, for a good number of reasons. You would think it'd be Julian Conde that's in the worst spot. The thing is, he can just go up the outside and steal the 5's line and leave Sonaker behind. Metapace, if anything happens, he's all alone. He's pretty much in trouble. And where these guys are at right now, it is very close to uncomforting and unsettling positions here for these drivers, and they know it. The onboard camera here, Brian Colton, as he continues to move the chains up ahead. Oh, no! Well, we were wondering if this was going to happen. The big one comes, that's Talladega. 5 cars involved in it. And the big one strikes with all its might and all its force. What a huge hit there, unfortunately. Let's take a look at the PTM Instant Replay and just see what exactly transpired here. Dylan coming on board here saying, go number 28. Good to hear from you and good to have you on board. Looks like McRae did indeed give a little bit too much of a bump there to the 88 at Con.
taking a look at it here on the 28's rear view camera here. This is the drone cam we got flying around here that these things can able to see everything from a distance. I'm pretty sure McRae thought he could have a chance here, but looked like he backed off. Colin got backed into a corner and got shipped on around. So McRae calling the caution out. Unfortunately, that is going to result in an EOL penalty for him, and that will definitely set the drivers back a little bit now in positions and pacing here. Colin saying the cars blew up. He looks like he's done. Wow, what an absolute heartbreaker there, unfortunately. Boy, what a tough spot to be put into now, knowing laps are going to start really dwindling in and kind of winding down on you and your crew. Now, if you're up front, that's no problem there, nothing to worry about. But if you're the folks in the back, now you're having to figure out a way to charge up to the front, charge into this pace here. Hoffer knows all too well about that. He used that strategy back at Irish Speedway, got up ahead of the curves and ahead of the speeds, got a draft off of Slonaker to win that one out. Although here, that's a different story. And I don't know what on earth Stanley Bottle is thinking right now. I'll give him credit where credit's due. He's got a set of cojones to do this, but I would not in my lifetime try with the damage I got on that car. I would have headed in pit road. If Stanley thinks that's going to work and win this one out, honestly, if it does win him out, I'll give him $5. I'll make it on call now. I'll literally give him $5 on air, and I'll make sure he gets it. But I'm not even going to even try to fathom how the heck that thing is going to get. Well, Colin says he's coming back out, but yeah, we'll come back out with a blown motor and everything, but he got a brand new car under that hood, so the instant repair is being used up quite well. McRae, I cannot tell anything there. I can't tell anything there, my friend. They are currently in the race, so. Coming down on the wire, coming down the ends here. We're going to get everyone squared back up into position, and I do apologize to those I have not talked with on the actual in-race reports here. I was planning on getting that done today, but we had some audio errors on my end here, so decided to just kind of leave that alone tonight. Next week, though, I promise you, we'll bring the drivers in and have a little chat with them. I think at this point, though, they're all just focused on the big goal and the big factor here. Here they come down around on the front straightaway here, waiting the green flag restart, and we're back underway once again. It's time to shoot them on down and shoot the thrill. Let's get back to it. Well, did I not just say 2 seconds ago, I don't think that 48 is going to have any speed. There is some serious damage on that 48, and it's going to slow a lot of drivers up already out of the gate. They're going to move them down back on the end. Stanley getting out of the way there. I mean, I hate to be this one I say I told you so, but I told you so. Unfortunately, with that 48, there is no powerhouse under that car anymore. That thing is completely dismantled. It's not doing too well, unfortunately. We'll see him back next time out, though, unless he can get that car fixed up. He's going to need a break here, though. He has got to be smart about those pit stops, I will say. He'll learn from it, but definitely a bit of a mismanagement on his end, unfortunately. Coming down around on the front straightaway here. Drivers now moving to the chains, moving to the ends. Dustin Sonaker on the outside trying to hang up there with the other packs. Matthew Hofford back into that fight, into that fray. 3 wide salute mixed into the bunch here. Warren Young in the 9 Nap Auto Parts getting a little bit queasy there with the 88 Robert Kahn. Kahn a lap down though, not for long though, or at least trying not to be. Chantel Pottle getting a huge push in the back though, leading up to the front. Same ordeal, same situation that happened last night, but this time the shoe on the other foot. Pottle straight to the front, needs a little bit more though. Oh, it's close. Moynihan, though, has just enough to hang on. Will Pottle go to the bottom? She can do it if she wants. Chantel's thinking. She's clear. She's thinking about it and looking at the overall odds. If she goes to the bottom, though, she has got Kahn to work with. Kahn, man, he's pushing. He's shoving. They're going to the bottom. And the run laid down by the rest of the field slowed way back again. Now it's time to start making some moves here, making some traction shots. Could redemption be at stake here and be finally put under the way for the 5? Right now the Lightning Wrapz Camaro is trying to hold on. The rest of the field moving their way to the chains here, trying to hold up the speed, trying to get the power under the hood. Every driver for themselves. It's a close pack race here in the midst of this fight and this war they call Talladega Superspeedway's race today. The Xfinity Series are not giving anything up. They're not giving anything in. And they're certainly putting on a battle to the end of this day. 13 laps left to go. Robert Kahn not on the lead lap still, but he gets ahead of Stanley Pottle. Stanley finally getting in the pit road to get the damage fixed up. Moynihan right now looking to try to sneak his way inside that opening of Sonaker. Sonaker has left it open. He's trying to close it off, but it's not enough. Like a thief in the night, the 77 of Moynihan swings his way inside and finds the opening he was looking for. Now, can he steal back the race lead here? Connor Day will be right behind him, looking to try to help him out. Both drivers in the hot pursuit. Side drafting, not going to be too much help here. It's all about pushing the pressure and putting the pedal straight down into that metal, hoping for a little bit of an opening. Looking for an opportunity to strike while the iron's hot. Fan favorite Minute Pace still in this fight as well here. Chantel Pottle, though, your race leader, another fan favorite trying to hold on. Matthew Hofford looking to go back to back, and he is currently in the 3rd spot, only behind Garrett C. Crawford and Robert Kahn, with Moynihan now on the outside looking to take that spot away from him. Clear cut dash coming through the ends, coming through the track side here. 12 to go. The 88 of Kahn's going to push and shove and make this run as hard as he can. He's trying to get back on the lead lap if at all possible. He knows he needs to do it. Moynihan now up on top side, making for the run here. Remember, you got to be careful up there. You leave that outside open, you know somebody eventually is going to want to go down there. Or go up there, I should say. As somebody goes up, you know where they go next. Coming around the track here, we have still got a heated fight here with 11 laps to go. Next time by, it'll be in the final 10, and I guarantee you, if you haven't been in pit road and get some fuel, you might be questioning yourself here a little bit. Look at Chad Basso, the Napa Auto Parts #1 Camaro, looking to swipe his way down to the bottom. Minute Pace blocks. Blocked his run. I don't know if he really expected him to do that, though. Crowd in a ceasefire and a bit of a crux, if you will, for everything else. Tyler Orrick in the 8, looking to get back to a winning way, maybe a winning position. But you can just see how difficult and how tremendously all over the place these Xfinity cars are getting. It's getting to be a big handful down here. And the drivers know it, but they're trying to hold on. Chad Bass on the outside now with the 9, pushing him up. Warren Young looking for his first win ever on PTM Racing TV. He's still looking for anything he can. That huge push, though, puts set into a dead end here yet again. The 5 continues to hold the race lead down, has all the makings, all the workings for what she has to do. 10 to go, and we are nearing this one's end conclusion. Things getting pretty crazy. They're getting a little wobbly and a little bit off center. 3 wide still. Everybody hoping to stay out of trouble. It could be a mix there and a bit of a mix-up if they're not careful, though. Can they hang on? It's still close. It's still battling back. It's still hard racing. The 18 Conde, they're all over the place there with Hoffman on the bottom. Bass backs off, maybe trying to give him some room. Got to get yourself squared up, but put back into a better position. Look out for Crawford down there. Conde back up top side yet again. Bass nearly getting tipped up. Bass yet again avoids a huge break and avoids huge trouble there, but that one was obviously dead center off to possibly being worse. Oh, it's going to get worse. McRae into the concrete barrier, the fence. McRae's into the wall protection. Huge wreck here out of turn 3 with a caution flying. Brian Colton involved in that one, the 13. Might have had his left front locked up there. Looks like he got it squared up. What the heck happened here? Well, take a look at the replay. We know we saw McRae getting kind of side outed, so we'll just start with his onboard camera again. Well, looks like... Well, you see Mike Wright out there. Man, what a wild ride he took there. I don't really think we can give you a full description of this one without really just showing you the full coverage of it. Okay, here's what happens. Stanley Pottle gets into a 4 wide salute there. McRae was trying to evade, trying to avoid, and looks like he kicked his rear end up a bit. And once again, you can see that little 4 wide salute ends up costing everybody precious time, but my, what a wild spot to be put into. Wow. It's just absolutely insane. They were able to get around, most drivers were able to get around him there, but then unfortunately just that one little hiccup in between did not quite go according to plan. Well, a lot of drivers heading into pit road are getting settled out of pit road right now. Some drivers getting some damage fixed up and getting some cleaned up repairs done. And this is going to turn into pretty much about a 5-lap ordeal now, popping up on your screen. So we'll stay in this one and we'll stay on the show. But race fans, when we come back, just Crawford, Hofford, Oric, or Paramus have what it takes to win this one out? Or can Pottle, Moynihan, Young, Conde, McRae, or Menapace finish this race out? Somebody will win it one way or another, but who will it be? Find out when we return. Ladies and gentlemen, today's race has been presented in part by PremierRacingSetups.com, the only one-stop shop to get all your setups and needs and prices done with one-to-one coaching and also performance enhancing to your track and your racing needs. Premier Racing Setups has got everything for you. By Accessible Racing, see, believe, achieve. We're out to bring racing to everyone. By Six Sigma Sim Racing, quality, performance, and enhancing equipment needed for your day-to-day rigs and routines. Six Sigma Sim Racing has it all. By the Racing Group, all over North America, podcasts, race talk, and racing news. A sim racing company you can trust in for all your racing news is the Racing Group. And by Lightning Wrapz, the most affordable designs made at your leisure. Lightning Wrapz has all the designs you need and the best. It looks out to bring out the best designs in your library.
When you need the best designs in your fleet of vehicles, there's only one brand name that many trust in. One that makes every car pop out from the rest of the field, and that is Lightning Wrapz. Be sure to check us out on Facebook at Lightning Wrapz. Get yourself a vehicle unlike the rest. Lightning Wrapz, the most affordable designs made at your leisure.
High above the crowd in the grandstands here, over 80,000 in attendance and more watching at home, ready to see ourselves a final last-ditch leg of the race. We will have 5 laps to go with the 5 up on your screen right now to showcase to you who will look to be the top, to honor the top driver today. Where in the world have some of these guys and gals come from? You may say, well, Talladega, it brings any which way to Sunday. And we have seen that and then some, and we're going to keep it going here with this last leg of the race. With 5 laps to go, who is going to be the best and the toughest of the strongest of the few? We are certainly just about to find out. Into the cornstarch light here, we bring him off down onto the front straightaway. The Alabama, you've been good to us. You've been clean and clear as can be with the weather to bring. Now we look to bring you a final leg of this race. Hoffert, Crawford, Oric, Paramus, Pottle, and Moynihan, your top 6 left in the mix. But there's many other drivers that know they have just as equals of a shot to take this one home. The green is back out. Lights are on one more time. Here we go. Crawford leads it. Early advance for Hamas right now. Trouble in the rear end. The 51 has a little bit of a problem. Oh, no, 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 no. Hamas just dove down low. Pottle had nowhere to go, and there's not a lot you can do in this case. Chantel Bottle's run just completely decimated and ruined out once again. She can still catch the back, but she's going to need some help. Down onto the front straightaway here, moving down the edge. No caution out. Drivers will finish this one under the green, it appears. It's going to be a tight, close cornered battle here. Looking for some openings, looking for some battles up front. And once again, help from Gon. Gon trying to help the 5 back out. Look at this impressive display of drafting and pushing and shoving right into the fray. Will they go to the outside? Perhamas literally just about ruined this entire race for the 88 and the 5. Well, now that seems to have been thrown out the window. Up on the top side yet again. The drivers up front have no idea what's coming except for Kevin Baker. Baker throws the block. He does it again. He wants to try to hang on and go for a top 3. But was that the right time to do it, I wonder? Coming down on the edge here, they'll work their way on around off the back end here into the outside. The 87, they're trying to get a draft, trying to get some help. He's not getting any help from any of these guys or gals. Coming to the end here with 3 to go. Garrett Crawford. Oh, no, 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 no. Are you kidding me? Moynihan getting pushed too much and shed straight into the wall protection. Drivers avoiding contact except for Kevin Baker. And the Cinderella story for Kevin Baker is 2 weeks in a row comes to a swift end, it looks like. And Moynihan may need a few Cinnamon Toast Crunch to sweeten up his day after this one. That is a tough hit he just suffered here. Let's take a look at the replay. Menapace got, whoa, man, took about a huge hit there. Menapace got completely rear-ended there by the number 77 here, and it looked like really there was nowhere to go in that angle. And again, Moynihan just kind of pushing off the draft, pushing off the end there, and caused the whole caution to come on out too. See right here, he was trying to help out Hoffer and them too. Got into it. And talk about a camera angle from our crit crews, guys, man, but what a wild little hit there. Warren Young just barely avoiding and getting out of that mess. Well, it's now 3 green-white checker attempts coming up here. We are going to go into overtime. Well, if you fans wanted bonus racing, you're about to get it. About to get a good chunk a little bit, it looks like. Man, talk about being put in a very unique circumstance and a very tough little spot to deal with here. The strategies and bait pressures coming away on the track here. A lot of drivers really at this point just trying to escape and really get out of this mess, trying to evade the troubles. I'm not sure what went wrong there for Hamas there on the start. I know he had rear end damage, probably didn't get the speed he was looking for out of the gate, but 5% up on him, colliding in, neither one receiving any caution flag for that. Then Khan comes back up, pushes the 5 back into the fight and back into the fray, and the next thing you know, it just goes completely wild from there. Field now having to restructure, reformat once again, and hopefully they'll get at least somewhat cleared out and more under control here. But I guarantee these restarts are about to get extremely crazy. Will we get one, will we get two, or will we get three? That remains to be unknown. We do not know. But race fans, let me know down in the comment section below. Who's your pick to win this one? If you're watching on the YouTube replay, feel free to still comment. Let us know, who do you think? We don't know who's going to win this one. We're going to call it as we see it. Our field is set back in this one. Tyler Scott Fitzgerald's going to go with the 42. Cameron Wesenberg's going for Sparks as a Spark on lead lap. Well, Dustin Sonaker is not on the lead lap. Unfortunately, no, he is out. So, unfortunately, that would probably not be the best bet there, Mr. Cameron. The polls have been voted. These drivers are coming down around the track here. They want to vote this one up. Who is going to be? Hofford looking to go back-to-back. Menapace looking to be only the second driver this season to get 2 wins in. Crawford looking for his first. Pata looking to break a long curse, if you will, and maybe then some. She is winless so far out of the multiple races. Warren Young, though, many more races without a win. Is it finally his time? The green is out. We're back underway. Strong start by Crawford. But that don't mean nothing on a plate track. Unless you're driving an 87 down there, these starts only are just as useful as really having to get back into a draft line, back into position. Draft starting to become a big factor here once again. Move up on the outside, moving through the field. Down into the ends here, down into the final sectors. Here we go into turn number 3, and off the gate, minute pace, right in there. Moynihan also in that fight after the big wreck he suffered a minute ago. He's back in this fray. Multiple drivers looking for an opportunity to strike. And Menapace with a huge kick, a huge bump there from Gone. Ladies and gentlemen, we'll bring him down around the track. White flag in the air. They'll come to the line. White flag in now. Menapace to the bottom. Gone to the top. Pottle goes up there with them. Number 9 of Warren Young. Moynihan also with them. Crawford glitched a little bit there. He's got to be careful. The Glitch Graphic Gremlins are after him. He's going to have to be careful. They're going to have to watch that final run here. The final push coming up. Down onto the back straightaway here. Oh no! Moynihan going a little bit deep. Menapace pushed too hard. Hofford backs off, lets him back in. Pottle deep to the outside. Can't get a run though. Moynihan now takes it straight into the middle. He's on the bottom. He gets ahead of Khan. But look at Ward Young on the outside. Young to the outside. One more push. One more run. Can he do it? Can he do it? They'll bring him to the front straight away. Dead even to the finish line. Ward Young did it. Ward Young has finally did it. He is a race winner here at PTM Racing TV. Unbelievable. By a mere 100th of a second. No longer can he say he is the only driver that has started this show, that started on this series without a win. He can now call himself a race winner. Straight to the line. He has done it at long last. Warren Young brings home a victory. Maybe one of the cleanest finishes you'll ever see down here at the end of a Talladega Daytona iRacing Super Speedway race. And frankly, we would not have it any other way. Unbelievable. Young has been waiting a long, long time for this moment, for this chance, this opportunity. And he can finally get to do it. I don't think he's been a burnout. I don't think he's done any burnouts in quite a while. I think he's just getting set up. There he goes. There's the burnouts. You gotta love it. Many days, many weeks, months, even years led to this day. A win at last on PTM Racing TV, and Warren Young can now call himself a winner. Takes it home. Moynihan will have to settle for second, and it wasn't 100 of a second. It was 9/10,000ths of a second to the line. Unbelievable. Crawford goes third. Menapace goes fourth. Fifth to Kahn. Sixth to Hoffert. Seventh to Horick. Eighth to Pottle. Ninth to Chad Bass. 10th to McRae. That rounds out your top 10 out of it all. Well, ladies and gentlemen, they're going to join me in now, race fans. They're going to bring in the show, bring him on back down. It's time to hear from our top three. I do not see Garrett Crawford with, hold on a minute. I think I do see him actually now. He is with us here. Race fans, here he is, the number 69 today. Garrett C. Crawford brings it home here for him and his crew. And Crawford, congratulations on the top three finish here, sir. But I have a feeling you were pretty much kind of going to that line thinking I might have this one locked up, and then old Talladega kind of got the better of you with that draft move off the slingshots.
Yeah, that restart messed me up a little bit. I got too ahead of myself, and they caught me pretty quickly. I thought I could. There at the end, I had a good amount of speed coming off of 4, but just didn't have enough. But happy with third.
You certainly did indeed, and now I know had a lot of openings and a lot of times really to kind of look back at this one, but I mean with the strategies and everything that plays out, if you could have done anything differently, would you maybe have tried it, or was everything you did pretty much what you had to do?
There at the end, I wish I would have, maybe backed into that car behind me a little bit more, and just so I had a better of a chance. I felt when they caught me that was my last shot, but there's next week.
There is absolutely next week indeed here. Crawford, nevertheless, congratulations on a third place finish. Who do you want to thank for this?
Oh man, I want to thank my wife for letting me do this for the first thing. This is a big expense, so thankful to her.
Thankful to her indeed. Crawford, you go away third. Congratulations, sir.
Appreciate you, buddy.
Ladies and gentlemen, Garrett Crawford will come away third place out of the bunch and out of the field today. Coming away second place, though. Got to give credit and credit's due. Cinnamon Toast Crunch still definitely sweetened him up a little bit to get that second place. And nevertheless, Moynihan, I know I said in the race that if you could get some of that Cinnamon Toast Crunch back in, you may sweeten your day up after that huge hit. Well, I think you had a little bit of it as you were in pit road and then just jumped right back on it. What a burst of speed this Cinnamon Toast Crunch 77 Camaro just brought to the line.
Oh man, it was. I didn't think I was going to be able to get back up to the front after that wreck, but I got lucky enough to get back up there and catch the toe and boost myself forward there.
Yeah, boost yourself forward and get yourself into a really good position to probably make a run for the end, make a run for it all. But, you know, we talk about it time and time again, you know, Talladega, Daytona, there's one thing you can count on. It is extremely, and I mean extremely difficult to catch a break and catch some luck here if the track will not allow it. And, you know, you caught some good breaks and caught some good runs there, but unfortunately the luck kind of faded away there late into that move there, didn't it?
It did a little bit, but you know, I honestly didn't think I would be able to make the move on the outside of the 21, and somehow I pulled it off, and the 9 was right behind me. He had it planned. Number 9 had a great run out of 4 and took advantage of it.
You certainly did indeed, but you definitely can't sell yourself short either. You had a great field day and a half, putting up all the stops, putting on all the show here. With that in mind, though, I know second place is going to definitely kind of sit for a while, but who do you want to thank you for the second place finish?
Shout out to all the sponsors, Next Level Racing, Hubgo Realty, and Accessible Racing. Thank you to the league for putting this on. And go Cinnamon Toast Crunch.
This little Cinnamon Toast Crunch to get your day right and breakfast started up right, I'll say, Moynihan. Nevertheless, congratulations here.
All right, thank you, brother.
Moynihan in the 77 comes away with another solid performance, but race fans, I think this is the guy that everyone wanted to hear and see for quite some time, and I think he's finally got it. The 9, Warren Young, at long last, will win here on PTM Racing TV. Warren, I said it just a minute ago, many days, many weeks, months, and even, you could say, years have led to this moment in this race, and what a way to do it by a mere 9/10,000 of a second to the line, sir.
Man, I had no idea I won it till everybody told me I did. It was so close. That was wild. That was a wild finish.
It was a wild finish, and it was a wild little ending to really what could be best described as a chaotic kind of race here. But for you and your crew, I know this one has been kind of thought of and been really presenting yourself for quite some time. With that said and in mind, I mean, just how much importance was this for you to finally pop this win in and get this victory off your back here?
Man, it means a lot to finally get this win off my back. Just it's been lingering in my mind and just on my back for so long trying to get this win, and just I've been close so many times, and it just gets away from me every time. And I mean, I thought it had gotten away from me again when I got in that wreck there with like less than 10 to go, and somehow that third lane opened up right there, and it was just like it was almost like it was meant to be tonight. So finally.
Finally, indeed. Warren, you got a win in. You got the victory. You've been wanting to do this for a while. Who do you want to thank here for this?
First of all, I want to thank my mom, my wife, my kids, um, uh, Pushing Limits League, you for a great broadcast, man. You kill it week in and week out. I go back and I watch this stuff, and it's just I have a blast watching it. Um, uh, Pottles for putting on the league. Everybody in the league, it's fun. I enjoy being back. Um, uh, my team, Rackhouse Racing, uh, Garrett there for pushing me to the win there. I know we kind of got separated there at the end, but just everybody that helps me out day in and day out. It's just I can't thank everybody enough.
For sure there, Warren. What a long trip this was. Hard charge of the night and 9/10,000 of a second. You lived up to the 9's reputation. This one is in victory lane, sir.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it, man.
Absolutely. Ladies and gentlemen, the number 9, Warren Young, finally ends his curse, and the streak has been broken. He wins here on PTM Racing TV. And what a night, and what a day to do so. Well, as we sign off here at Talladega, a thank you again to Premier Racing Setups, Accessible Sim Racing, Six Sigma Sim Racing, The Racing Groove, and Lightning Wrapz for everything. But for you fans out there, thank you from the bottom of our hearts for tuning in to every single one of these shows. Without you guys, we wouldn't be here. From all of us here at PTM Racing TV, stay safe, be good out there. We'll catch you guys next time on the show.